Okay, m equals slope, right? Even though it doesn't start with m, it starts with s, but we're going to use m for slope. And I'm going to write my fraction bar here and the minus signs here. But before I start plugging numbers in, I'm going to label my coordinate pairs. Okay, this is x1, y1, x2, y2. And we need to know those variables because we're plugging the numbers into that equation, right? So, I don't want to know what number to put in here, but what goes here first? Like what variable? y2, which is 2, right? So I'm going to plug 2 in. Good morning, Mike. I'm going to plug 2 in here. And then what's right here?
We have no Kyle today.
Okay, thank you. y1, which is 0, right? And then on the bottom, we have x2 minus x1. My x2 value is 7. x1 is 3. What's 2 minus 0? It's 2. 2 like that. 2 minus 0 is 2. 7 minus 3? 4. If those subtracting 0 or negative number is messing you up, would use your calculator. I know mental math might be quicker, but when you're taking a quiz and the points matter a lot more, it might be wise to just double check yourself. 2 over 4 is not simplified. It's going to be 1 over 2. So because 2 goes into both 2 and 4, I'm going to divide the top and bottom by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So m equals 1/2. Slope equals 1/2. Alright. I'm going to label this again. x1, y1, x2, y2. I have seen on worksheets and grading homework and openers and things, I see people label this x1, x2, y1, y2, but that's incorrect. We know that an ordered pair is xy, right? So this is xy, and then I just put the 1s in there because it's the first pair. And this is also always xy, and then I put 2 in here to represent that it's the second ordered pair listed. So m equals Kaylon, can you tell me what number goes here?
-86.
What?
Oh, y'all on that part. -2.
-2, yep.
Thought y'all wanted me to get the answer.
What goes here?
6.
And then, Daisha, do you know what goes here? Yes, yep. Good. Next one's 9. Good, Mike. Okay, and what's -2 minus 6?
Oh, it's going to be
-2 minus 6.
-8.
-8. 2 minus 6 is -4, but -2 minus 6 is -8. And what's 3 minus 9? No? It's -6. Okay? So if there's a negative on the top and the bottom, if there's 2 negatives, they both become pluses. Because a negative number divided by a negative number equals a positive number, right?
But then you can do it to small.
Took it away.
What? Okay, 8 over 6 is not simplified. What number goes into both 8 and 6? 2. So I'm going to divide equals 4 over 3. Surprised how excited you guys are about math this morning.
I'm not either. He just eat the green fruit.
It's impressive for a Monday. Okay, go ahead and label these again. Another mistake that almost threw that. Another mistake I've also seen on figuring when you're simplifying. Kaylon asked me, he did -6 and the fraction, the ABC button, and then -6 again, and
It brought up like 1 U.
it was like -1.5 or
over
something.
1/2.
Yeah, but that we can't write our slope like that.
So do you guys remember what you're supposed to do when you get that in your calculator?
You gotta do a lot of steps.
What,
I know.
we hit the second button,
Mm-hmm.
the fraction button again, and equal, and it'll put it back into
It'll
the
put it
proper
back.
fraction.
Okay.
That's a lot of steps.
So if you don't want to do a lot of steps, or you want to maybe do the simpler thing and just divide by 2 on the top and bottom, I'd recommend that. You know, if you press the wrong button or something, it'll give you the wrong answer. I would just do dividing by 2 on top and bottom, and it'll give you the answer right away. Had a lot of people complaining about how many steps there are in finding slope.
I got 4 over 6. The fraction.
What's 3 minus 9? -6. So it was, -6 was on the bottom, but then because we simplified.
Then I got 4 for the numerator. You got 4.
4, -6. No, you didn't. Oh,
So, Miss Schultz,
oh shoot.
when you talk about bringing up the negative,
Wow. Thank you for saying something, AJ. Okay,
what?
we're going to erase some of that. Can someone plug -2 minus 6 into their calculator?
Wait. What's the problem? The second problem?
What's -2 minus 6 on the calculator?
It's
What's
gonna
that
be
say?
positive 8. It's gonna be positive 8. No, it's gonna be -8. Man, I need to look at my paper. It's gonna be -8.
Oh, you're right. Never mind.
It's gonna be -8.
Okay. AJ, I'm so sorry. Monday. AJ, I think you did +2 minus 6, which you got -4. But it's -2 because y2 is -2. Okay. I'm sorry. Gosh. Okay. I'm going to be second guessing myself. Okay. On the bottom, last one, but then we're going to graph after that.
Okay, I want to do this. Can I do this one all the way through?
Okay, sure.
I want to
What goes right here?
-5.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta turn that negative to that middle sign. You gotta turn it to a positive addition symbol because you can't have a negative and another negative.
Right, so I'm going to write it out just so everyone else can see.
Oh,
Because y2 is -5 and then y1 is -8. But because you've got what Kaylon is saying, there's a minus sign beside a negative sign, so that becomes an addition problem, okay? So I'm going to make that a plus sign.
then -3,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to turn that other one into an addition also. So
That's right.
+2.
So again, you've got the minus sign beside the negative sign. So I'm going to make that a plus sign.
Then you're going to equal sign. Then it's gonna be +3 over -1.
Perfect. Yep.
Then you're gonna have to bring that negative up. Then it's gonna be m equals -3 over 1.
Nice job remembering. Kaylon said you have to bring the negative sign up because you can't have a negative on the bottom, right? That's not simplified. So all you have to do is simply just move it up. So it's -3 over 1. If you also wrote it as just -3, which you might see on Khan Academy, you're not going to see -3 over 1. You'll just see -3. It's the same thing. But in slope, this is the only time that you're allowed to leave a 1 on the bottom. But it is the same as -3, okay? Okay, does everybody have that down?
Yes.
Okay. So for this side, this is what your quiz is going to look like as well. They're going to give you the lines already written, and it's going to be labeled, so always make sure you pay attention to the labels. The first step in finding a
It's all black and
slope,
white in ours.
that's okay, but that's why you have the letter. The first step in finding a slope when you're dealing with rise over run is you circle the lattice points, right?
Man, what?
You don't remember the lattice points?
I'm just trying to do this in my like. It's hard. It's hard. It's confusing.
I'm going to write m equals,
I see why the teachers say don't draw the lines whenever you're trying to do your on your quizzes.
what do you mean?
Cause you know like whenever you got like
Divided to this.
rise over run, then on the other side you have like M, B, C, D.
Mhm.
Then you gotta put rise over run equals M. You gotta like draw like the line to connect the M, and then you got all them lines. That's what this looks like to me.
Okay. So, again, in your notes, if you forget what a lattice point is, it's where a vertical line, a horizontal line, and then the graphed line all intersect in one spot. So this would be a lattice point, but this is not a lattice point, right? Because
No.
there's only a vertical line and no horizontal line. It has to be all
that's gonna
three of
be a
them.
positive one.
So then this is another lattice point because we have
There's
all
only
three.
5 lattice points.
One, yeah, this is a lattice point, that's a lattice point, that's a lattice point, but you only need to know 2. Okay? If you pick the closest 2, you're not going to have to simplify. Usually. I don't think ever. Okay? So, if slope is rise over run, what's my rise on this number? On this line?
One.
What is it?
One.
It's -1. Because we're going down. Right? You can always know if a slope is negative or positive just by looking at the line itself. So, I'll get there in just a second. You read words left to right, right? Determine the slope. You're reading left to right. With a line, you're also reading left to right. So if I'm starting here on the left and I end up over here on the right, the line went down. And if the line's going down, it's negative, right? Does everyone remember that? Thank you for that confirmation. So my rise is -1. And Alex, I heard you say my run. It's +2. And that's because I went right to.
So now if you would have went left, it would have been negative.
But we're never going to go left because we're starting on the left. We're always going to go right.
That's tough.
Okay.
Alright, I get it.
So just like how we had, Kaylon, you remember on the front side of your opener, you put the negative from the bottom right up on the top? That's because you can't go left for the run. Okay? And then how about for line B? Mike, do you want to point out a lattice point for me?
So would you say that would be negative?
It'd be -1/2.
No, I'm talking about for B.
No, that's going to be positive.
Cause look at how it's going down.
That's right. Hold on. Okay. Which one did you do? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's not.
That one, yep. Okay. You want to pick out the other one? Okay, thank you, Mike. Okay, so this line we know is going to be positive because we're starting on the left side and we're going right and our line is going up, right? So it's definitely a positive. What's my rise?
Your rise is for 2.
It is positive 2. 2. So I went up 2. 2 over 1, that's right. So I'm going to write my rise like that. Hey guys, let's focus. I know this is a lot in one opener. We've been going for a while, but I want you to know all these details for your quiz, okay? So I went up 2 like Alex said, and then AJ said right 1. So my slope equals 2 over 1. Daisha, can you lead me through the last one? No? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do it then. So I'm going to circle a lattice point here. It was a terrible circle. Right there. And then my next closest one looks like it's right here. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, my rise.
3.
1, 2, 3.
All 4.
And again, we know this line is positive because from left to right it's going up. And then Kaylon said it over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my slope equals 3 over 4. You don't have to draw these lines, but I've seen a lot of students' worksheets see where they miscounted. So the line helps me to count how many I'm going up and over, or down and over. But you don't have to. So if you don't draw a straight line like this, not using your straight edge, you're not going to get points off. Okay, because that's just for your own work on your paper. Okay, does anyone have any questions before the quiz? Anybody at all? No questions before the quiz?
No, I just want to get it over with.
So, if you took the notes correctly when we took them, you should have stuff about your m equals 0, your horizontal line, and undefined. Just please remember these, okay? Always refer to your notes. Always use your equations, okay?